2, 2.
All right, I'll turn it up.
One, two.
You ready? No, let me have this. No, yeah, here we go. Oh, see, visit page 343, 343. Lishua, oh, see, oh, see, visit Radia. Vayehili Lishua Ozi Vizimradia Vayehili Lishua Ozi Vizimradia Vayehili Lishua Ozi Vezimradia Vayehili Lishua Ozi Vezimradia Vayehili Lishua.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
and welcome to all of you who are here in our chapel this evening, and welcome as well to all of you who are at home in the chapel, wherever you find yourself. I'm Robert Davis. I'm one of the rabbis here at the temple, joined by Cantor Lisa Siegel, Cantor Jennifer Benray. I grew up here at the temple and as a cantor up in New York, New Jersey. New Jersey. It's new. So pleased that you're here with us this evening. Our name, Jew, comes from the Hebrew root, which is the same root that makes words like todah, thank you, modeh, thank you, nodeh, thank you, modim, thank you. It's the root of who we are, to be thankful, to be grateful. And so on this Thanksgiving, we especially feel grateful for all that we have and thankful for all that we have. Being thankful is definitely a Jewish thing. Let's be grateful not only for what we have on this secular holiday, but as well for our name, and let our name lead us to appreciate our lives and our world. Let us be grateful. We're going to continue with the kindling of the Shabbat candles and the Kiddush, and I want to invite up Cantor Ben Ray's parents, Jose and Oliva, and Cantor Ben Ray's wife, Meira, to lead us in those blessings on page 2. Page 3.
Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Voker, Yom HaShishi. And there was evening, and there was morning the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Kiddush is on page 5. They're in negotiations. Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat kosho v'ahava uvratzon Inchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat koshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim. And as they're having a l'chaim together, we're going to continue reading together, page 8. Let's read together. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We continue with Shiru Ladonai, page 13.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בשרו מיום מיום ישועתו. בכל העמים נפלאותיו, נורא הוא הכל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בשרו מיום מיום ישועתו. ואדוני שמיים עשה, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בשרו מיום מיום ישועתו. ותגל הארץ, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בשרו מיום מיום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, בשרו מיום מיום ישועתו.
We continue to welcome Shabbat L'Chadodi, page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Ya la 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 l'Chadodi, ya la 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 l'Ikrat Kala, ya la 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 Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat Nekabe, ya la 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 l'Chadodi, ya la 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 l'Ikrat Kala, ya la 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 Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat Nekabe.
Shamor v'zachor b'divurecha, yishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'litfilah. Yai lai lai,
Ya la 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 l'Chadodi, ya la 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 l'Ikrat Kala, ya la 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 Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה בראש מקדם נשוא Sucha סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה יא אלי יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי בעורף קומי עוררי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה וצהלה תוך אמונך עם סגולה בואי יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבל יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
Beautiful. We sound pretty good, huh? Baruch Hu, page 28.
יא לה לה יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד לעולם
Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakokavim b'mismerotehem b'rakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or.
ומאהר יום מביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המרים הרבים.
Pages 34 and 35, we meditate on the words of Shema, thinking about our connection with all of creation as well with all space and time. We meditate on Shema. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם באמת.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Page 40, Micha Mocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. V'chamocha ba'elim Adonai, v'chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ratehilo, no sefele, no ratehilo, no sefele. Adonai,
Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the Sukkot Shlomecha, the shelter of your peace. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
V'hamitenu shomrenu lechaim, uleshalom, uleshalom.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu,
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
We continue now with the central part of the prayer service, HaTefillah. Begins on page 46 and then continues on the even number pages. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Go Melech Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atarav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנת על החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי הכל. אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We turn to page 56 for the Birchat HaChodesh, the blessing for the new month of Kislev, otherwise known as Hanukkah.
The month full of light. Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, ya'aleh v'yavo, v'yizacher zichronenu, v'zichron kol ha'macha beit Yisrael, lefanecha letova, lechen u'lechesed u'lrachamim, u'leshalom beyom Rosh HaChodesh Hazeh, Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova,
Amen.
Ufogdeinu vo livracha,
Amen.
V'oshienu vo lechayim.
Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this, the first day of the new month of Kislev, be mindful of us and all your people Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being.
Amen.
Visit us with blessing.
Amen.
Help us to a fuller life.
Amen.
Please be seated, and we'll take a few quiet moments of silent meditation and prayer, and then we'll continue with the Modim on page 58.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's fitting that we are chanting these words today, Modim Anachnu Lach, on Thanksgiving weekend. But in fact, these words, Modim Anachnu Lach, we give you thanks, come up in our liturgy every single week. And it is important that on Shabbat, we don't ask for anything. Today we had Black Friday, and people are getting a lot of things and hope that they will receive what they've asked for. And yet, on Shabbat, we ask for nothing but peace, and we reflect on our own gratitude. So with that in mind, and full of all of the abundant thanks that we have for our lives, we sing these words, Modim Anachnu Lach.
Modim anachnu lach, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, ואימותינו לעולם ועד.
Modim anachnu lach, tzur chayinu, magen yishenu, atahu lidor vador.
Modim anachnu lach, le'olam va'ed.
For the sun that rises in the east, for the seas that roar a prayer, for the stillness of a snowfall, for a breath of autumn air. truth within my soul. Modim, אנחנו לך. Modim, אנחנו לך. Modim, אנחנו לך. לעולם ועד. ויעל ניסך שבכל יום עמנו, שבכל יום עמנו. ויעל נפלאותיך וטובותיך, ערב הבוקר וצהריים. מודים אנחנו לך. מודים אנחנו לך. מודים אנחנו לך. לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך, לעולם ועד. מודים, מודים.
Wow, beautiful. Modim anachnu lach, for sure. We have so much for which to be grateful. Beautiful, thank you. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. One of our congregants shared with me that when he got to his Thanksgiving meal with about 30 of the regular Thanksgiving extended family, he saw a family member who he hadn't seen for a few years. He said something like, "How have you been?" His distant relative responded, "Don't ask unless you really want to listen." We've all been there. It is natural and appropriate in the course of relationship to share thoughts, feelings, and news. Most of this gets filed in the short-term memory part of our soul. No one can be expected to remember the theme to your neighbor's child's 4th birthday party, or the secret to making that delicious broiled whatever, or the list of colleges that your colleague's grandson applied to. We can't remember these things. They go in our short term and they exit very, very quickly. Yet there are some interchanges that we have with others that are soulful and real and stay with us, that become forever embedded in our memory and even in our life story. There is such a moment in this week's Torah portion. But first, a little background on the portion. Rebekah, that's Isaac's wife, conceives twins, Esau and Jacob. The birth order is very important. Back in those days, the next leader was always the oldest male descendant of whoever was the leader. I like to think of it as the big daddy. Whoever was big daddy, the firstborn son becomes the next big daddy. And when that happens, you still need two things. You need to get what's called the birthright, otherwise known as the inheritance, because without the cash, without the ownership, you didn't have the power. Imagine a tribe of maybe 20 families journeying around together, and the leader of the tribe owned everything. The tents, the food, the animals, the utensils. He owned everything. And so to be the next leader, you had to have the birthright. And the birthright The inheritance went to the firstborn male. The second thing you needed was the blessing. Big Daddy, before Big Daddy died, had to say, you are the next leader of our people. So along comes Esau and Jacob, twins, to complicate the story. And yet Esau still comes out of the womb first, and he is the one who is destined to become the next leader. Esau is manly, hairy hunter, go out and catch game. Jacob is hang out in tent, make some soup. And that's kind of how their relationship was. Esau was going out to catch hunt some animal for food, caught nothing, came back. We've all said it, I'm dying of hunger. He actually said, I'm dying of hunger, and he meant it. He literally was going to die unless he had some food. And Jacob was making a big pot of lentil stew, red lentil stew, they say. And Esau says, bro, he didn't quite say it that way. He said, brother, I need some of that stew. I need some of that soup. And Jacob said, I will be happy to sell you a bowl of soup for the birthright, meaning when dad dies, I get the inheritance. Esau thinks to himself, what good is the inheritance if I'm dead? It's a deal. So Esau sells his birthright for a bowl of soup. A number of years later, their father is about to die. Isaac is about to die, and he calls Esau for the blessing. Isaac's wife, Rebekah, hears the call and whispers to Jacob, Jacob, go in there, get the blessing. Jacob says, okay. So he's not a hairy guy, so he takes some lamb's wool or some sheepskin and puts it on his arms, around his neck, and he goes in there and, hi, Dad, I'm here. And his father's like, it sounds like the voice of Jacob, but is that you, Esau? And he goes, it's me, Esau, really, I swear, Dad. And he says, come close, and he touches him, and he says, okay, it's you. And so he gives Jacob the blessing that was destined for Esau. So Jacob has now stolen the birthright for a bowl of soup, stolen the blessing from his brother as well. He's not very happy. Esau is not very happy. Jacob gets this blessing, and then the moment, this painful moment, Esau cries out in one of the most painful, truthful, vulnerable moments in the Torah. He says, Barcheni gam ani avi. Bless me too, Daddy. So, Jacob's received the blessing, and Esau wants his dad to bless him. Barcheni gam ani avi. Bless me too, Daddy. Esau is sobbing. Bless me. It's a cry that no hug or words of comfort can ease. It's the feeling that we all have experienced when someone has robbed you of your dignity, your pride, or your rightful possession. It must be the feeling that the families of all the gun violence, the victims of all the people that have been dying through gun violence, it must be the feeling that they have. This feeling was not new for Esau. After all, he had sold his birthright years before, and his blind and forgetful father and his manipulative mother now have contributed to his pain. Rabbi Dana Sorokin writes, it is hard enough to forgive a sibling who has wronged you, but how do you forgive a parent who has so visibly and hurtfully favored your brother? What do you do with the sadness, the hurt, and the unfairness? Esau's story reminds us that no matter how hard we try, I know we're going to have problems with this, no matter how hard we try, we cannot change other people. Esau couldn't get his mother to love him. He couldn't get his brother to become more trustworthy. He couldn't get his father to reverse his mistaken blessing for his brother. He just couldn't do it. Esau learned that while he couldn't control the choices that others made, he could, however, control his own actions and responses. We know this because when Esau had the opportunity to exact revenge, and after all, who wouldn't want to exact a little revenge after your brother has stolen the blessing and the cash? It's hard to deal with. Instead of the years of rage being built up and turning into murder, after all this time of alienation and anger, and he somehow found a way to grow and mature without his father, without his mother, without his brother. And at a moment of reunification, when Jacob and Esau come together, instead of reaching out for revenge and hurting him, Esau holds his brother Jacob tightly and kisses him. And at that moment, Jacob said, I have gifts for you. I have a lot of stuff, animals and valuable stuff to give to you. I mean, Jacob was maybe not feeling, and maybe he was feeling a little guilty. Instead of accepting these gifts and riches, it was a big offer he made to him. Esau declines. Why did he decline? Because Esau had realized that he has everything that he needs. He didn't need anything more. His worth in the universe was not dependent on his relationship with anyone but God. His worth in the universe, our worth in the universe, is not dependent on what anybody else owes us, thinks about us, wants from us, tells us, writes to us, shares with us. Our worth in the universe is between ourself and God. And so it can be with us. It is Thanksgiving. No matter how hard we try to gain the respect, adoration, and friendship of others, we might never gain their acceptance, validation, or favor. Ultimately, we need to find our own shalom, our own inner peace. Esau reminds us that the only thing that we can control in life is our own actions and our own responses. Esau's painful cry for his daddy to bless him turns into the realization that blessing is found within. I pray that your thankfulness this weekend has less to do with the stuff we can give and receive and more with our own internal sense of our place in the world. We all have moments when we feel like the Esau who is grieving. We all have those moments. And we all as well have moments when we see that our blessing is not somehow equated with what we do not have or what we no longer have, but rather we celebrate and rejoice. We give thanks for the blessings that are found within our souls. Our prayer book says, Elohai neshama shenatati b'torahi. The soul which we have been given is pure. Let us be thankful for this simple truth. Amen. We have much to be thankful for in this world. Among those things are the blessings of health. And we're going to take a few moments to pray a Misha Berak for those who are not feeling healthy. Those of you who are here in our chapel tonight, those who might be at home or in the hospital recovering from illness or from surgery or from sadness. And if you have the name of someone you would like added to our prayers, I'll ask you to please rise as you're able and mention those names out loud so that everyone can pray on behalf of the people for whom you're praying. Thank you. Marty. Thank you. Janie? Janie's brother. Thank Thank you. Thank you. Have a name? Beautiful, beautiful. As well, Cantor Stephen Haas. We're going to pray Misha Bayrak, page 253. Grateful for prayers of healing. We're also grateful that we've made it to this moment, to this time, to this season, that we've been sustained and kept alive. So I'm going to ask you all to please rise, and let's be thankful, express our gratitude with words of Shakyanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Standing, we turn to page 282. We face toward Jerusalem, toward a sense of wholeness for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Take a few moments now to remember all those who came before us, those who may have died in years past at this season, those who may have died in recent days. As a congregation, we remember the more than 6 million Jews who were murdered in the Shoah and the Holocaust. Remember those who died in the struggle to reestablish the modern state of Israel and who've made and died since that time, making sure that our homeland exists for us and for Jews everywhere. Remember those who perished in the name of liberty, freedom, justice, and righteousness. And remember all the innocent victims of hatred, ignorance, terrorism, disease, violence, more gun violence this week, and natural disasters. On this Shabbat, we remember friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed on plaques, which are in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Moa Bend, Merlin A. Berger, Gary Duboff, Herb Hoffman, Mary Metzke, Simon Miller, Annette Midge Pasternak, Faye Rom, Edward J. Schaefer, Meyer Shapiro, Stanley B. Smith, Lottie Steiner, Carl Lewis Sternbaum, and A. Ernest Wolf. Remember as well friends and families whose yortzites are being observed at this time. Remember Adolf Axelrad, Carlos Frumkin, Bernard Hirsch, Donald Hoffman, Walter Coleman Karp, Julius Kasdan, Stuart Klein, Giorgio Leone, Marty Lundy, Susan Maynard, Shirley Robbins, Jack M. Schaefer, Isabel Steinberg, Mark M. Weiss, and Morris Wadnicki. And we remember those who died in recent days and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. Remember Sandra Dubin Lieber, Lenore Polk, Sheila Presser Litz, Robert Kurtzer, Sheila Isabel Elsbach, Nancy Norman, Gladys Gelb, Walter Wally Posner, Juan C. Pente, Jeffrey Ressler, Charles Koppelman. As well, we remember those who've died this past week through acts of gun violence. We remember those who died in Virginia at the Walmart: Lorenzo Gamble, Kelly Pyle, Brian Pendleton, Tanika Johnson, Randall Blevins, and Fernando Chavez Barron. Remember those who died at Club Q in Colorado Springs, Colorado, act of more violence, gun violence. Remember Derek Rump, Daniel Aston, Kelly Loving, Raymond Green Vance, Ashley Pa. And remember one who died in another terrorist attack in Israel at a bus stop in Jerusalem. Remember Aryeh Shupak, 15 years old. Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. May the memory of all the righteous in our lives be a blessing. And if there's a name that I haven't mentioned, you're saying Kaddish, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names, and then we're going to all join together for Kaddish. Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. May their memory be a blessing as we rise together, page 294, and recite words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrah chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon uv'yom echon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman karib v'yimru, Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalah shmei d'kudusha b'richu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'miran b'yalma v'yimeru, Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you who mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated and invite up now member of our board, Jose Ben Ray, to share greetings and a few announcements on behalf of the congregation.
Shabbat Shalom. My name's Jose Benray, and I'm a vice president on the board of trustees. I have a few brief announcements. Mazel tov to Abigail Warshawski and her family on her bar mitzvah tomorrow morning. I believe they're in next door. Please join us tomorrow, Saturday the 26th, for Torah study at 9:30, in person or via Zoom, and for Shabbat service at 10:30, in person, Zoom, Facebook Live, YouTube. If you come up with another method, let us know. On Tuesday the 29th at 7 p.m., there will be a discussion with Mark Baranek via Zoom on the First Lebanon War. On Wednesday the 30th at 12 noon, there will be a discussion with Rabbi Loibin on feminism and Judaism. And on Thursday, December the 1st at 7 p.m., Rabbi Glickstein will lead a discussion on the murdered, martyred, and the misunderstood. Please be sure to RSVP for any event you wish to attend. For more information on these or any other programs and classes, please check our website and the weekly emails. Thank you to the clergy for a beautiful service, and please be sure to join us for a nosh at our own egg reception immediately following services. Finally, a bit of personal privilege. Congratulations to our guest cantor, Jennifer Benray. This is the first time I'm able to say and introduce her as an ordained cantor, and no longer a student cantor. This is the synagogue she grew up. Shabbat Shalom.
And we're going to conclude our services with the singing of, you can pronounce this for us,
Non como nuestro Dios en Eloheinu.
page 327. Let's rise.
And you know who's leading that, right? En Eloheinu, en Kadonenu, en Kemokeinu, en Kemoshienu, non como nuestro Dios, non como nuestro Señor, non como nuestro Rey, non como nuestro Salvador. Mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Chemokeinu, mi Chemoshienu, quien como nuestro Dios, quien como nuestro Señor, quien como nuestro Rey, quien como nuestro Salvador. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Eloheinu, no del Moshienu. Lo haremos a nuestro Dios, lo haremos a nuestro Señor, lo haremos a nuestro Rey, lo haremos a nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Bendito nuestro Dios, bendito nuestro Señor, bendito nuestro Rey, bendito nuestro Salvador. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonai, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Tú sos nuestro Dios, tú sos nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.